Uh, excuse me, Ravenov. Feel free to send me a pack in, but I've noticed you're not rattled by anything going on here. Also, people have been saying Green didn't have a choice in bringing you on board.
My expertise came at a high price. Being here, it is my duty. We all have our instructions.
I got history with this kind of thing, too. The place I grew up, it was a town by the name of Liberty.
My God. You were there. But you would have been so young. How did you possibly...
Hold up. You know about what happened? Every pencil neck I've ever spoken to said those files were sealed.
People, they tell me things. I know it was a tragedy.
Well, shit. I've kept my mouth shut, worked my ass off in the service, and convinced the powers that be to assign me to Deadbolt, just to find out that you're the one with the answers?
Perhaps I can't help. When you have time, record what you remember. And I can do my best to connect the dots for you. Separate fact from fiction.
You do that?
I promise.
Deal. Now, that means you can't go dying on me.
I am good at keeping promises.
Ravenov, I know you told me to record this when I had time. Well, I'm making time. If you can fill in the gaps, I might be able to make peace with what happened. Right. Outbreak day. First thing I did that day was wake up and go to school. It was 91, so I must have been in kindergarten. No, wait. No. First grade. Sometime after recess, there was a fire drill. When everyone filed out onto the playground, we found our parents waiting for us. I was so excited to see Mom and Dad. I didn't notice how scared they looked. I thought they'd planned something special, like we're gonna go to the bowling alley or something. Before I knew what was happening, Mom grabbed me by the wrist and ran. I mean, I had no idea where we were going. Now that I think about it, she probably didn't either. Dad had his hunting rifle with him. He was just ahead of us, but I kept losing sight of him because he was always ducking around corners. Mom still had her hand wrapped around my wrist, telling me to pick up my feet or I get left behind. Our little town must have been in chaos, but I didn't notice any of that. All I could do was focus on staying upright. I tried to keep up. I really did. But my legs were too short and we were running so fast. I cried, begging Mom to slow down, but she just tightened her grip and kept her eyes straight ahead, saying over and over, "Pick up your feet, baby girl, or you're gonna get left behind." I tried to get Dad's attention, get him to tell her to stop, but he bolted down the alleyway by Ollie's Comics. That's when I heard a loud crash, something growled, Dad started screaming. And then the rifle went off. Mom just kept running. I think that's enough for today. Hi, Ravenov. Sorry for the delay. I've been trying to record the rest of my story about Liberty Falls, but turns out talking about trauma is harder than I'd anticipated. You'd think dogs would have warned me. Well, then again, the only soul I'm telling this to is you. So, I guess that ain't on him. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Dad had gotten attacked over by Ollie's Comics. When we passed the alley where he'd been jumped, I saw Dad's body, and I guess something in me just snapped. It was like the lights getting flipped on at bar close. Suddenly, everything was too loud, too bright. I wasn't prepared for it. All the stuff I hadn't noticed up till then came flooding in. People screaming, buildings on fire, shots going off in all directions. And everywhere I turned, there were monsters. Mom and me tried to take a shortcut behind the motor lodge, but it was blocked. I could hear the growls behind us getting louder. That's when Mom spotted the fire escape. Quick as you can, baby girl. I'm right behind you. As I climbed the fire escape, the growls were coming from directly below me. I looked down, and that's when I saw them. Swarming sea of monsters crashing into Mom like she was a boat caught in a hurricane. It's the first time I'd seen a horde of those things. Run. That's what she told me before disappearing beneath the waves. Run. So I ran. I don't remember much after that. I'm ashamed to admit I've been too scared to try. When my aunt and uncle took me in, they told me the Steel Mountain Riders had found me holed up inside Freedom Fried Chicken 3 days after the outbreak ended. Which is probably why I hate fried chicken. Best bet? Get on his flank. They're good at charging forward, but like my Aunt Pam, takes them a while to turn around.